Thanks, Ashley. Thanks for accepting my invite and joining in this talk show. So this is pretty much a common talk which we have used to have in common days. So before I know you about you pretty well, but if it will be great if you could introduce yourself to the audience. You are on mute, Ashley.
Thank you,
Okay.
Riaz. So, first of all, thank you for having me on your channel. So a quick introduction about myself. I'm Ashley Joshi, currently working as an HSEQ manager at Compass India Food Services. As far as my journey is considered, I have total of 7 years of experience, and I'm basically a microbiologist. My educational background is post graduation in microbiology, and post that, I happened to join the food industry. And from the very beginning, I'm in the catering industry itself. So I have been through different segments of catering. Initially, I was with the hotels, and then in a consulting segment, back into hotels again, and now into corporate catering. So that is a quick, short brief of my journey, and that is all about my background. And I believe I could share some of my experiences and key achievements that could help you all in leading your career path.
Okay, so my first question would be, how did you came to know about this field? So basically, when we are studying, especially microbiology or food technology, we'll know our first goal would be industry, where there are a lot of manufacturing happening, either bakery or biscuits or dairy or processed food. So that would obviously trigger our mind. And as a student also, I may think that I should land in a good manufacturing industry. So most people would not prefer this profession. So first of all, how did you came to know about this domain and how did you land your first job?
So, first of all, yes, catering was something that was not in the checklist only, not to look out for. And when I was studying, my college had given us an add-on course on HACCP. So that's how this food safety came into being. From microbiology to food safety, that was how it initially got. I got the idea about it, and once I started looking out for jobs, yes, initially I was looking for only for manufacturing industries, but later on, there were a couple of jobs that were related to hotels, especially with the hygiene department. So I happened to apply for that, and it was just a try to check out if you want to land up on your first job, and you are trying everywhere. So that's how I happened to try for the hotels, and it just worked. So they had scheduled an interview and asked the basic food safety related aspects related to HACCP and all, and that was all they wanted. So that is how I landed to my first job, and that is when I understood that there is a whole segment of catering which is related to hotels, hospitality segment, the whole segment related to hospital catering. There is then corporate catering. That was my introduction to the catering industry.
Okay, so what are the skills or what qualification did you had which help you to crack your first job? So did you did any specialized course or did you did any unique thing which made this first job pretty easy?
It was my seniors who had suggested me to do a course on HACCP, and they had suggested me that a level 3 in HACCP could be a good start for the career. So I did this course from Highfield. It was a certificate course coordinated by Highfield International, and the certificate is valid across the world. So that is how I arrived at my first certificate course in terms of food safety. And as a beginner, even now, when people are into coming into the food industry, especially either it is manufacturing or catering, to understand the basics of this particular field, HACCP training is something which is still recommended, and people generally get to understand all the basics about this particular the basic aspects of the food safety, which could be beneficial to crack down the first interview.
Okay, so back to your college days, did you did any internship or any other when you are studying, did you did anything unique from your other fellow batchmates which helped you to get your job?
So I was very much interested into going into beverage industry. I always wanted to go into an organization which is dealing with spirits or beer. So that's how I landed up with a with an internship in United Breweries. That gave me an insights about how the process flow works, how large industries ensure food safety. So that was a very key aspect in my during my education itself, right before I started my career. It was a very key aspect which helped me to understand the industry better and understand the terminologies that are used in the industry to start with. So I would say that an internship which gives you insights about what you're looking forward in future would definitely help everyone in landing at the right job.
Okay, great. So let's brief down on the QHSE part. So in terms of quality or in terms of production in typical food manufacturing industry, we know how it works. So there would be certain samples we'll take to the lab and we'll do some sort of analysis and we'll give clearance, and then they will start the production, and it will be a proper quality management system in terms of food manufacturing. In catering, how is your quality role would have an impact in the entire process?
So, in catering, we are dealing with bulk quantities. That's the biggest thing. So, on an average, talking about the site that I'm associated with right now, we make on an average of 1,500 kg of food a day, and that's a huge amount. And definitely, we are feeding around 4,000 plus people a day. So, when your food is reaching to such a big crowd, and when you're dealing with such a big quantity of food over a day, then definitely whatever key aspects, whatever safety guidances that we have laid down plays a very crucial role. So it's like, um, if, for example, let's say we are getting our vegetables randomly from any vendor instead of having a permanent vendor or a approved supplier, then obviously the quality of vegetable that is coming in every day would be different. Especially during rainy season, it will be very infested, and you cannot go back and ask them, like, for a replacement or anything. That's not possible. But when we are having key stakeholders who are associated with us and who help us with the right quality of material, raw material that we want, then obviously that is something which can help us ensure a lot of controls are in place. So as a QHSE part in catering, I think it's more crucial because we are dealing with a lot of ingredients. In manufacturing, it is very definite that we will have certain amount of ingredients and we are dealing with a certain process. In catering, it is very dynamic, and that's what makes it more interesting than manufacturing, I think. So just because of the dynamics of the whole system, the items that we're making, the ingredients that are coming in, it's about a lot of controls and a lot of effort that it takes to ensure food safety in catering. So that's the beauty of catering, I would rather say.
Okay, so what do you enjoy the most on your job? So you said the beauty of catering. So what do you enjoy the most?
The food itself, I would rather place myself in that way, because yes, in catering, you every day you get to enjoy good food, and that too a variety of food. In manufacturing, you are ending up with the same thing. But jokes apart, I enjoy the fact of connecting with the team more often, and implementing certain things which comes in new into the system. So every day we have new challenges. Like, for example, we are introducing a new segment of food. So the we have something called product check. So what we do is, for say we are introducing Asian food, so for that new ingredients are coming in, so we will check for the whatever new sauces or any ingredients are coming in, we will check for the quality of it. We will check what are the ingredients that are going into those sauces. So we will then approve, and then only it comes into the system. So it is not a monotonous job, it's a very dynamic job, and that's why it is very interesting as well.
Okay, one more advantage what do I see is like usually food manufacturing facilities and all would be away from city, and you need to stay somewhere. But mostly if you are into a catering or hotel industry, obviously it is going to be a part of the city, and you can enjoy and you can commute easily. So that is also one of the advantage which I see. Okay, now let's talk the toughest part of your job, Ashley. What is the toughest part of your job?
Toughest part of the job, again, I'm sure, Riaz, you will also know, it is when things go wrong. है ना? So it's like, it's not like every day would be a safe day. There will be days when things may go out of control. Even after implementing all the controls, all the checks in place, again, there are days when there would be some lapse. It may be due to issue with the material, it may be due to issue with the infrastructure, or it may be due to some gap in people management also. So that is not, it wouldn't, I won't really say it as tough, but yeah, identifying the right root cause of the gap is the major crucial part, I would say. And sometimes certain cases are where it really, you have to deep dive into the whole scenario, maybe plan think of the whole process in place, imagine the whole process, and then identify the root cause, what went wrong. So that is, I think, the most challenging part of the job. I won't say toughest, but the most challenging.
Yes, compared to other manufacturing sector and all, this catering sector is pretty much challenging because there we'll mostly deal with instruments and equipments, but here it is totally on man management. Like this complete process is people oriented, which is quite challenging, and it's quite difficult when compared to the manufacturing sector. That is what I
True.
too see. Okay,
Yes.
so how is your career path in the catering? So we know, so if I'm joining in a manufacturing unit, I'd be an analyst, executive, then I'll be as an assistant manager, manager, quality manager, and handling different volumes. So I know the growth path over there. So how is the growth path over here in the catering? Since all your years you are in the catering industry itself, so how's your growth path is going on in the catering?
So I initially joined as a trainee in United Breweries, and followed by that, I had moved to the hotels. That was my first job as an executive. So I was with CGHO, the Experience Hotel. So that brand currently have 25 hotels and resorts across South India. So I was in the corporate team for quality. So we would ensure ISO 22000 standard, which would be applicable to the hotels, and we had implement all the hotels were certified back then. And after that. I had moved into the consulting firm. So I was taking care of pan India consulting for food safety and health and safety standards. And post that, I came back to hotels again. I was with Marriott for some time. And after that, it was corporate catering. I had joined Compass. So with Compass, I got to work with two of the key accounts in India. So I was part of the mobilization team for Morgan Stanley Parivartan, which is the largest site in APAC. And then I had moved to Google Ananta, which is again the largest site in APAC for Google. So got that opportunity. So if I could see the dynamics in my career, initial 2 years I had worked as an executive. Later, once I joined the consulting firm, I got promoted as an assistant manager. And in hotels, I was working as a hygiene manager. And post that, in Compass, I joined as a HSEQ manager. So now I am transiting into my new role. It's a pan India role for an organization called Nectar Food Solutions. It is a subsidiary of TATSATS. So I am transitioning into that role. So if you anybody who is joining into the firm, looking forward to the career path, definitely it is start maybe starting as an executive, and up to VP level role is there in different organization in terms of HSEQ. So there is always a lot of opportunity, a lot of scope in this particular field. But right now what I feel is that um, it's not only about food safety which is in focus. The focus is more transiting to health and safety, and also on sustainability. That is the key aspect that is under focus right now, especially if, from a Google perspective. Google is focusing a lot on sustainability, and anybody who is joining the industry should have knowledge about all these three areas. Apart from food safety, there should be focus on health and safety as well as the sustainability part. That is where you will be standing out of the crowd, and that is where you are unique from the everybody else in the system. And that is definitely something which can fetch you better projects in future.
That's great, Ashley. Good to know your career growth. So you have defined yourself in this particular domain, in the catering domain. So how did you find? So after talking to you, I hope that you want to continue a career in the health and safety in this particular domain itself. So how did you pick that this is my right spot or a right job for me? So each individual have different perspectives of work, and they love to do different other things. So how did you crack down that this is my perfect cup of tea?
So yeah, so well, in the college I was actually not certain of doing taking up food safety as a career, but I always wanted to be around food. I appreciate food. I love food. I just love to be around food. And initially, if you ask me, when I completed my graduation, I wanted to be a photographer, a food photographer. And that somehow did not happen. And later, once I was completing towards completion of my post graduation, I realized that yeah, I want to be around food somehow. And that is how I ended up doing the HACCP course. And I was like, okay, let's do manufacturing. But I think destiny had a very good plan for me, and I ended up in catering. And that's how I happened to be around food all the time. But once I started my career, so I was very closely working with ISO standard, and I got to excel at the standard in like initial 1 to 2 years. So that's when I got to learn about other standards also. So I had completed my BRC and all. So once in my initial 3 years, I realized that okay, related to food safety, I have almost completed everything. Now there should be something more. I should know that it's a value addition to my profile. That next time if I'm applying somewhere, I could say that apart from food safety, I know this as well. So that's when my focus had started moving towards health and safety. So I happened to do the ISO 45000 course, and post that I did my NEBOSH also. So that's how I started mastering the health and safety part. So that's when I realized that okay, now sustainability is coming in. So now my focus is on sustainability. So yeah, excelling on one thing and looking out, seeking out for the next thing to add on to your profile is very important, because right now the people we have out there, there are a lot of people who are very good at the job that they're doing. If you see the competition in the market, it's very tough right now because we have a lot of qualified people, and standing out in the crowd is something everybody should focus on, because going forward, that will only be the thing that will fetch us the right position and the in the right organization.
That's great. Okay, so if I am a student today, what should I start doing to reach your position or reach this particular domain in next 2 or 3 years?
So, for a starter, always do a course will give you the initial insight of the food industry. So, if you're focusing on food safety, do a course on HACCP, that is recommended, and you will get an initial idea, and that will help you land in your new first job. Once also it also depends on if you want to do which segment of the food industry. Like if it is catering, then corporate catering especially, then health and safety is also a bit that comes along with the food safety. So our initial course on health and safety, an awareness course on health and safety is something which you could do. But do not fall for any lead auditor courses before you start your career, because you will not understand what are the aspects that are being talked about in the course itself. So it's like spending 25 to 30,000 on a lead auditor course in the starting of the career is not beneficial. But once in the industry, when you are actually working with in the role and understanding the key aspects, then you will be able to relate to any lead auditor courses when you're doing it, and it's easier to crack down as well. But for a beginner, always I would suggest all students to go for a beginner course, segment any awareness course in HACCP and an awareness course in health and safety. That would be a good starter.
Okay, so I have one more question. So it's about you. So if you could go back in your time and give an advice to a younger self. So just now Ashley has passed out our masters. So what advice do you give to yourself, your younger self?
So a couple of years back, I was good at videography and vlogging part, which I dropped down. So I would have given the advice to my younger self that I would have kept that part alive in me, instead of digging my head into the work itself. So I think I have become a very workaholic person. But that fun element, that photography videography part, that I have lost somewhere. So I would have given an advice to myself that I would have continued that. And maybe that photography path was also something really I wanted to pursue. So maybe I would have put in a little more effort towards that.
Okay, what made you to skip that domain and come into this domain? Because
So
what I see is food photography is something very much new, and it's very much so in these days all your marketing and all your food domain, all the food companies are having their own Instagram and other social media channels. They are hiring social media influencers based out of food technology and food domain. So what made you to skip that as a career and a professional, and made you to choose this?
So I think I did not get the right guidance at that time that photography had a bigger scope. So back then, it was only me who really wanted to do it, but I think some lack of guidance was there, which could tell me the scope of photography, how vast it is, and it just did not work out. So that's why my
Okay.
parents were like, "Okay, you complete your post graduation."
Okay, now, same like you, like many students would might be watching this video, even they might think to have a food photography or a food vlogging or something related to food in terms of social media as a career. So, what advice do you give to them? Right now, they are about to take that as a profession. So, what advice do you give to them?
So the most challenging part is the starting. So the very beginning of what you want to do. So if you want to do blogging, go out and start a channel. Don't think about how many viewers you have in the beginning. Just start and keep doing it. Keep posting. Keep creating content, because consistency is the key. So once you start, maybe you're working constantly for 3 months and you may not get the desired result, what you're expecting very quickly. But be consistent. Keep doing it, and definitely you will end up where you really want to be. And currently, in this particular current scenario, passive income is very important. You cannot live with one job and meet your own expenses, all expenses, right? So ensure that you have a passive income, and passive income should be something that you enjoy to do, something which is you're passionate about, so that you never feel that you're working, because anyways in the office, your permanent job, you are working. So do something, like I'm sure what Riaz is doing right now is something he enjoys. So definitely do something that you enjoy, but at the same time, make sure that you are channeling it in a way that you are getting some income out of it.
Yes, that's obviously right. And one more thing. So, as an women students, so how is this career for women's? Even can males can also take this as a career, or this is more focused on women oriented? Because I see many R&D professions now they'll hire female candidate because they have the patience to work properly. When you give to this to a boy, he may not have that patience. So, like this catering field, it is meant for women or men? According to you?
I think there's equal opportunity for both men and women. Even though we see more women in this particular industry, that's very true. I think women are more stringent with the implementation part. They don't negotiate much, and I think that's the reason why there are more women who are hired in this position, because it's always like so it's you yourself know, Riaz, that mostly don't align with the operational part, right? Operations and HSEQ are two segments that never gel. It's like oil and water, because we will be talking about safety and they want to complete their processes and finish off their tasks at the right time. So sometimes there are conflicts, but at the same time, I think it's women who are very adamant to be ensure safety first, and men are more like they will try to find a way out to ensure safety as well as does not hamper operation. So I think that's the only reason, but out there opportunities are equal for both men and women. And as me as an HSEQ, I always felt that I have understood the operational difficulties equally. At the same time, ensure that whatever is required, all the safety protocols are also followed. So it's about choice, how you want to be. You want to be liked by, so like HSCQs are never liked by people. That's for sure. We are hated by people because we point out mistakes. For us, it is opportunity for improvement. For them, it is pointing out. For operations, it is pointing out mistakes. But that's how it is. That's how it has to be to ensure that all the ends are met and all the processes are in place.
Okay. Actually, see, there are few participants who are started their career in manufacturing or R&D. They might be 2 or 3 years of experience. It is so they feel that this is not my cup of tea. It is possible for them to switch from that particular role to this role, and how would be the adoption once they shift the job? Will they able to
It
manage?
is. Yeah, so it is possible, definitely possible that movement from manufacturing to catering can happen. But the thing is, in manufacturing, when they're dealing with some product, so they have to ensure that that product is safe until the product is consumed. Maybe the shelf life of the product is 6 months. So there are fixed processes and fixed set of activities that are done, and that has to be ensured completely. In terms of catering, when they're switching to catering, there is a lot to do more, because every day is a dynamic day, every day is a new day with new challenges. So understanding the processes is one is important, because that will be the shift from manufacturing to catering, where the process flow is different. The kind of operations that we deal with is different, the terminologies that we use are different. So that is one shift which will initially take around, I think, a month to settle down to. So that happens with a new job also, like even if you're moving from one catering firm to another, that happens. So this 1 month would be a time to settle down if you're moving from manufacturing to catering. But coming to catering is like you have to enjoy your job, because there is a lot to do. Like I told you, it's like a dynamic thing. It's a dynamic job. So every day you can contribute a lot. So I'll make sure that whenever you are moving into a catering sector, not only catering, any firm, look forward to what new can be done, what new implementations could be brought in to refine things, to make it more to make sure that everything is in place. Like for example, say you are delivering trainings. So if there is a training plan and we are delivering trainings, but how is it that you can ensure that there is a proper coverage across all the team members that is happening? So say you are having 100 team members, whenever you're delivering training, 60 people are attending, but about the remaining 40, is the remaining 40 same who is not attending the training from the very beginning, or it is like randomly people are moving to and fro? So always there is always a possibility to for a lot of new initiatives in any organization. So for a person who is moving from manufacturing to catering, they will have a lot of experiences that they are carrying from there which they can implement here. So, and also they are fresh pair of eyes, so they can also see things and identify the gaps maybe more effectively. So there is a lot of scope out in catering, where in catering QS are models everywhere, where people from manufacturing can actually move in, and if they enjoy doing it, definitely they will have fun working in catering.
That's really great, Ashley. So thanks for the time. And the key takeaway from our conversation is, so there is a domain called catering where the food technologist or microbiologist can get placed and they can work. So to get placed, point number two is they have to know even health safety and also sustainability as a part which will really help them to get this particular job and grow in this particular job. And third key takeaway, I would say, like, don't fall in the lead auditor trap at the initial stage. So take some time and do some small courses and get your job. And in the catering there would be lot of challenges each day. If you are a person who loves challenge and who can face each and every challenges different day, then you can take catering as an profession. So thanks for your time, Ashley. It was great talking to you. So I wish you could even now you can start your food photography journey side by side, so that you can have a small self satisfaction as I am getting now, doing this vlogging and other things, is very much I am very much passionate about, so which I am doing right now. So you can also start your photography and you can shine a lot. And thanks for your time, Ashley.
Thank you so much, Riaz, and thank you to whoever who is gonna hear this out. And always make sure, just keep one thing in mind, that never settle for anything. Never. Always reach out for opportunities. Always reach out. What more you can do? Ensure you're doing at least two courses a year, something which is out of your league, something which can help you in future to fetch a better job. So that should always be the focus to everyone, whoever would be listening to this clip. I would just say that this is something, always keep pushing yourself, go beyond the limit and achieve. Dream, aim, achieve. That's what you have to do. So yeah, thank you, Riaz. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.